I have Isabel in here, and in a moment, my husband Pear will join us. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to start. We're ready to start. Are you ready to start? Okay. Yay. And the cool thing is, for the first part of class, you don't really have to be awake yet. We're going to start with a good dose of yin. And we're going to start in Sphinx. Very easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So coming into our yin practice, first thing in the morning, it goes together, especially since it's dark out here still. And you know, when you wake up in the morning and like the tips of your fingers aren't quite awake yet, and you're not quite there, it actually is the perfect time to do yin. Also, your muscles tend to be a little more stiff and tight. And so when your muscles aren't as warmed up, like for instance, from climbing or running beforehand, you actually come into more of the work of the yin yoga, which comes into your ligaments. So take these first couple of breaths to find the right shape for your body. Let your elbows be slightly in front of your shoulders. You can even imagine the tips of your shoulder blades are like dipped in lead, so they get a little heavy. And in all the yin poses, you want to find the right shape for your body and then make all the adjustments you need to, and then find stillness. And but you find stillness and you figure out how to be present from the inside with that stillness. We're very trained at responding to stimuli. And so we want to find that we actually galvanize our independence when we're able to be still and not restless. Galvanize, it means basically make more strong. So before we move out of the pose, let's just wake up our memory of how connected to the universe we are. And this invocation is by Orland Bishop, written down by him. Infinite stars, infinite space, source of the knowledge of the world, giver of thoughts that empower creation, transforming light into the elements of matter. Radiate before my mind the 7 keys that unlock the doors of the mystery temple, that I may enter and fulfill the purpose for which my birth initiates. To come out of this pose, you're going to inhale and actually engage your muscles. Maybe lift your chest up, stretch your arms, and see if maybe overnight magically you got more flexible. You can bend your knees and bring your feet to your head, or your feet can just think about your head. And then slowly settle back down to the ground, wiggling your hips side to side, letting the small movements kind of restore the feeling in your body. It can help kind of move the fragile feeling that we can have in a yin pose. And then you're going to reach your left arm out to the left while you're lying on your belly, coming straight out of your shoulder. And then you turn your face away from your arm to the right. Hug your knees up to your chest on the right. When you both bring both knees up so they're at least level with your hips, then the twist is more in your spine, and you can feel the pressure in your shoulder. Some people need to have a little pillow here. Sometimes it's too intense in the shoulder, and you can put a pillow even underneath your shoulder. Now, this is as far as you need to go. I mean, who are we kidding? You didn't even need to do that if you didn't want to. But if you want to go deeper into the pose, you're going to stretch your top arm up to the sky, turn your palm, and reach back and see if you can hold hands with yourself without lowering your left arm significantly. Beautiful. And then maybe see if your right foot wants to come to the ground and maybe your left foot. So you put your right foot behind your other leg. That was your left one. Mm-hmm. Perfect, Marika. And you can put the other one down, because you'll feel what that helps do is actually spin your hips more, so your spine is twisting more. And it increases the pressure on your lower shoulder. Oh, Fizzy, you need a little. Just like in painting, floating heads are not okay. In yoga, you want to also, in yin yoga, floating head doesn't really work. So this beautiful opening, the invocation, puts our biography right in the center, not just of the world, but of the cosmos. And through traditional Chinese medicine, we know that things connected to timing are things connected to our heart. And you know this too in your own biography. How certain seemingly serendipitous moments have brought you to be aware that you're in the right time at the right place with the right people. Now, this sentiment is true all the time, and it can even be a full practice to really live into, I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people, despite what our likes and dislikes are, or what our challenges are with the people we're finding ourselves with, or where we find ourselves. But this timing is so connected to our heart, but it's also connected to the earth, who I think of as the silent participator in all of our relationships. If it's not blessed by the earth, like, your meetings won't happen. So when we find ourselves in the same moment, in the same place with somebody else, it's like we can have a memory of this force that actually brings us to each other that is far greater than social media or common interests. And then start to roll onto your belly. See if your left fingers can still move. Even if they fell asleep, just move your fingers a little bit. That will help increase the circulation. Bringing more blood into the area will make you feel better. You can moan and groan and grunt and cry. That will make you feel more better too. More better. Yes, sir. Even though I joked the other day about doing a yoga class that was cheap and just doing one side, we're going to do the other side. Still think it's funny after all these years. Discount yoga. Oh, we just do the right side. So stretch your right arm out. Hug your knees up to your chest. And I think it's so useful to remember in this moment, this is as far as this pose needs to go to actually already start to have a healing and therapeutic effect on your lower shoulder. If you'd like to go deeper, stretch your left arm up to the sky. Spin your palm. Maybe bring your left hand down to the left hand. That's your left foot down to the ground. Maybe your right foot too. So you can intuit this kind of this earth participation in your meetings, these earth dates that we get with people. I love it when the earth dates confirm what I want. But often it's also confirming what I was thinking about but didn't want to deal with, that phone call you didn't want to make. And then you run into the person. But there's a cosmic participation in actually the timing of our birth. That was the moment that was ripe for your being to be possible to incarnate here on earth. And so when we find ourselves in these catastrophic, confusing times, remind yourself that this is the time that you chose to come to earth. Not in a self-punishing way, but this is the time and the place where your soul, your spirit saw opportunity not only for your being's development, but what you are here to give to the earth and other beings. Your participation is crucial. And what's so wonderful that your participation isn't expected to be counter against anything in your divine self. You're being asked actually exactly that, to be yourself as much as possible. That nice, cute little line. Probably haven't used it since we were in France, but I probably have. But be yourself because everyone else is taken. But this uniqueness with which each one of us comes into the world is like every biography gets to be a new possibility, a new opportunity of what's possible and what's true of this holy experience. And then start to roll back onto your belly, moaning and groaning, wiggling your fingers. And maybe you're worried that we did longer on one side than the other. I was trying to look at the clock. We did pretty good, but the second side might have been a little bit shorter. But you'll notice that sometimes your experience is totally not the same. I remember once having a very emotional moment in the beginning of a class I was teaching. And I basically told my students to sit in meditation. And afterwards, I asked them, how long do you think I had you sitting there? And most people were like, there was like 2 people or 3 people in the class. They're like, oh, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's like, no, I had you there for 13 minutes. All right. Push your hips back to your heels. And we're going to do a wide-kneed child's pose before we start to move and bring fire into our practice. So take your knees wide and just stretch your arms straight in front and bring your forehead down to the ground. I mean, you can keep your chin forward. That's totally cool if you want, but it might be more comfortable to bring your forehead to the ground. With your knees as wide as is possible for you. So all of these, as we can see in our biography, the timing connected to our heart makes so much sense. For instance, like I probably wasn't ready in my life to meet the love of my life before I was 40. And what a waste it would have been, like to meet the love of my life and not get it and miss that opportunity. I'm sure you have some similar thing in your own story, like, oh, this makes sense now. And I can see how it wouldn't have made sense for my previous self. But our timing and time itself isn't just a convenience of convention, but really there's something about the synchronicity of the universe, the way things are in relationship to each other, that call forth our becoming. And when we have the capacity to remember this, it can be a little bit, for me at least, like a salve where it soothes the frustration of some of my meetings or experiences or challenges. To remember it's not just coincidence or petty kind of things that brought us into this moment together, but there's a much bigger script that's going on about humanity, about the development of every individual. If you want, you can bring your hands together and then bend your elbows in prayer, and then bend your elbows and bring your thumbs to the back of your neck. You'll feel that this is, yeah, exactly. This is like stretching the backs of your upper arms, an area we don't often stretch very much. But it's also maybe helping open your chest a little bit. And just take a moment to maybe dedicate your practice to someone or something, even. Kind of personalize your effort and your participation. And then relax your hands, slide your knees together, and take your arms back behind you so your shoulders are dropping forward and relaxing and releasing a little bit. Your head's still on the ground in embryo pose. And we are going to gradually move into our yang practice. And you can already start inviting the Ujjayi breath, this victorious breath. So you're constricting the back of your throat slightly. So just like if you were going to do a stage whisper. Or you know, that whisper of like parents telling their kids something, but everyone else can hear it too. And then with your inhale, lift up into tabletop and start to gyrate your table. Yes. So make circles. Find some wiggles. See if you can do, lemniscapes with your spine. And then like the circles, no, that's the other way around. Never mind, just kidding. Let your circles get smaller. And come to center. And then with your inhale, lift up for cow. Feel your shoulders reaching down your back, your head lifting, maybe even your smile lifting. Imagine if you had horns that could, hear the stars. And then with your exhale, push the ground away, lift your lower belly, lift your belly up, bring your gaze towards your belly button. And then inhale, lift up into cow. You can think a silent moo. And then lift into cat. Again, a silent meow. Very different kind of sounds they make, huh? And then come to center. So come to a neutral spine, which means that you're still a little active in your lower abdominals. You still have presence. You're not just kind of releasing into it. And feel your lower abdominals working as you stretch your right leg back. And you're going to keep your toes under. And just for a moment, you're going to tuck your toes and pulse back. So if you pulse back with your heel here, you can feel it affects your calf. And then you're going to peel your right heel to the ground and lift up into supported side plank. And then see if maybe you can float your right leg. And then if you want to try a little bit more, you can bend your right knee, hold on to your right foot with your right hand, and keep your hips pushing forward and kick your foot into your hand. Notice it might challenge your balance a little bit. Fantastic. And then without going splat, stretch your right leg long, square your hips. Your right leg is still floating. And with your exhale, bring your knee to your nose, your belly lifting up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. And with your exhale, bring your right knee down to the ground. Inhale, lift up into cow. And then exhale, push into cat. Inhale into cow. And then exhale into cat. Inhale, come to a neutral spine. And then reach back with your left heel. And you're going to pulse. Feeling the release in your left calf. Then re-engage perhaps your lower abdominals as you lift your left leg up. Oh, just kidding. That's not how we went there, guys. Spin your left heel behind your right toes and lift up into supported plank. Side plank, that is. And then see if you can float your left leg. It might be already challenging for your balance, which is what we're after. If you feel like going a little deeper, bend your left knee, kick your foot into your hand and reach, like push your hip forward, maybe look up, let your chest expand. It's okay to be finding your balance. And then without going splat, stretch your left leg long, bring your left hand down to the ground. And with your exhale, bring your knee to your nose, lift your belly up. And then stretch it back, relax it down. And this time, just take a moment and come into Sassy Cow. Funkadelic Cow. And then come to center. Push down with the tops of your feet. Pull your belly up and float your knees. And with your exhale, bring your knees down, tuck your toes under, and reach onto downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And with your exhale, just sigh it out. Feel your fingers spread out. Maybe even spread out your toes. Take a full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Hold your breath out. Look forward and hop between your hands. And then fly your halfway lift. So you're going to stretch your arms out. Reach through your fingers. Broaden your wrists. Feel the back body. And with your next exhale, you're going to bend your knees and hug the back of your knees, letting your head drop. And then root down and rise up. Stretch up nice and tall. And with your exhale, samasti, tihi. So yogi's choice, stand either with hip distance apart with your legs or with your feet together. And we're going to sound 3 ohms. So they don't have to sound pretty, but it's nice if they do, but they don't really have to. Our obsession with it sounding good is more of our entertainment nerve, really. So just notice what happens in your Om today. Let your elbows be heavy, your thumbs connect to your breastbone, close your eyes, chin lifted away from your chest. Empty your breath first. And then take a nice fat inhale. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach up tall. And with your exhale, soften your knees and bend forward. Bring your hands through heart center down to the ground. This time, keeping your fingers on the ground, inhale, halfway lift. And then step back to plank. With your feet hip distance apart, with your next inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky and come into this weird wide-footed side plank. And then with your exhale, bring your left hand down and inhale, lift up the right arm. Your feet don't move. They just move to the sides, but the toes stay planted. So your hips can move more. And then back down with your right hand. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. And then come to the ground. Inhale, low cobra. So feel your toenails push down to the earth. Lift up your chest. And then with your exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Allow your breath to help you. Classically, you actually even want your breath to lead you. And in our vinyasa, we have a little bit more time, since we repeat it so often, to kind of notice, how does my movement go together with my breath? How can I improve their timing? Their timing, my breath and my movements. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and hop your feet quietly in between your hands. Inhale, fly your halfway lift. Exhale, hug your forward bend. Root down and roll up. Stretch all the way up to the sky. Catch your left wrist. Lift a little higher, and with your exhale, bend to the right. Then inhale up to center. Catch your right wrist. Lift yourself higher, and with your exhale, bend to the left. Then inhale, lift up, look up, and with your exhale, dive down, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift with your hands connected. And this time either jump to chaturanga or step to plank and lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Invite a small, soft bend into your knees. And then try to lift the crease where your butt and your thigh meets up towards the ceiling. Feel your fingers active. If your toes are turning a creepier, whiter shade, then you can also lift up your toes and spread your toes out to help relax them. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and then walk or float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, fly your halfway lift. Exhale, release and hug your forward bow. Root down, rise up, stretch up tall. And with your exhale, samastitihi. Bend your knees, drop your butt, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, walk or float, chaturanga with your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, bend your knee and let your hips spin open. We're going to take a couple breaths here. As I said, we're moving not just like shockingly into our yang part of our class, but we want to invite some of the yin in with the yang. So where are you chill here and where are you active? You want to let your whole right leg be active. You're looking at the inside of your left ankle. And then see if maybe you can bring your left hand, your fingers up to tent. That was awkward. Or actually lift up your left hand. Now, if you really want to challenge your balance, reach back and just squeeze your foot. Or if you're looking for more of the quick relationship, slap your foot. Oh, yeah. And then release your left hand down. With your exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Belly lifts up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Same action. Bring your knee to your nose. Feel the lift and then continue to lift your foot and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Let your left knee come down to the ground and inhale, supported Anjanasana. Let your heart lift up, maybe lifting up your gaze. Now imagine you have two warm hands squeezing your hips in. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, ride your breath. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing doggy. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and then bend your knee and let your hips spin open. So your foot is flexed and active. You're bringing your heel towards your buttocks. And your chest is still square to the mat. which is what we provoke happening when we start to lift up onto the tips of our right fingers. Maybe that's as far as you go. Or maybe you can lift up and just casually hold your left foot with your right hand. Or maybe you're just doing a kind of flyby and give yourself a slap, a therapeutic slap on your foot. Or maybe just enjoy how awesome and elusive your foot is. And with your next exhale, place your right hand down and bring your knee to your nose, your belly lifting, curling up here. Inhale, extend your left leg once. And then with your exhale, same action, carry your foot forward, place your left foot heel to toe, allow your right knee to come onto the ground and lift up, supported crescent lunge. So you're going to feel the squeeze with your hips squeezing in. It helps you engage your root lock and not just sit in your flexibility, but lift up out of it. Maybe taking your hands towards each other, maybe taking your gaze up to the ceiling or back at your foot. We do have dancers in the house. Take another full inhale. And with your exhale, ride your breath. Sweet chaturanga. Inhale. No, wait, just kidding. Upward facing dog. And then bring yourself back to downward facing dog. We're going to do like the Christmas version of the singing yoga class. Inhale, stretch your right leg, like the extra breath there. All right, reach it up, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. With your next exhale, bring your right knee to touch your left elbow. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, knee to your nose. Deliver your right foot to your thumb. This time, keep your knee lifted and rise up, crescent lunge. With your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale, reach your left arm up and stretch your right arm down the back of your left thigh. Take another inhale here. And then with your exhale, swoop to swoop, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your triangle pose. And then with your exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, let your hips spin open. With your next exhale, you're going to tap your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Feel the lift in your abdominals and deliver your left foot to your left thumb. Rise up. Anjanasana, crescent lunge. Take a nice full inhale. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Inhale, stretch your right arm up and reach your left hand even further back towards your right thigh. Feel the lift in your inhale, your chest lifting up, strong right leg. And with your exhale, open up, warrior two. Ta-da! And then inhale, reverse your triangle pose. So it should feel really good to straighten your leg. And with your exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Invite that small bend into your knees to be more active in your downward facing dog, actually. So you want to feel that your rhythm of your breath and your movement are helping each other. And we are going to push a little bit to be challenged and get a little breathless in just a moment, because we want to have that in our practice as well, which is like we're practicing for not just the easy life. Take another full inhale, empty your breath all the way and walk or float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel free to fly it. Also feel free not to. Exhale, release and bow down, hugging the backs of your knees, especially if you're touch deprived. And then bend your knees, drop your booty, swing your arms up. Woohoo! Utkatasana. With your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Inhale up to center with your exhale. Open arm twist to your left. Inhale up to center. With your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk, fly, or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, let your hips spin open. With your next exhale, you're going to tap as close to your right shoulder as you can. Often looks like your elbow. And then inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, left elbow. Tap it with your knee. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. With your exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Deliver your foot to your thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, fly forward into airplane. Beautiful. Now inhale, crescent lunge. Come back the way we came. And with your exhale, open arm twist. Yeah, thanks to the right. You all did it right. Take a full inhale here and then exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your triangle pose. And with your exhale, keep your leg extended and shift into triangle. Let's take a couple of breaths here. So you want to feel that your right hip is pulling towards your left heel. And you want to feel that you're tucking your right buttocks towards your left heel. And then try to lean back towards your shoulders. Yes, beautiful. Now you're going to invite a small bend into your right knee. Step your left foot maybe a little bit closer to help you, and then lift up into half moon. Very, very nice. Be careful of the plants, but see if maybe you can bend your knee and grab onto your foot. Yes, beautiful. Now, if you're feeling too stable here, you're welcome to lift your bottom hand. Or if you're not breathing, maybe just try that. And then with your right hand on the ground, you're going to release your left leg, stretch it up, bring your left hand down and square your left hip. Inhale, drag your chest forward. And with your exhale, open up, twisting your half moon. And again, bend your knee and see if you can grab onto your foot. I think I'm kind of excited that Marika's here. So let's stand up. Yay. And ta-da, we are in crossbow. Yeah, and if you're not sure if you're hopping around, I know you're excited. Maybe just wave hello. Hey, let your heart lift. And then rewind it. Bring your left hand down. Release your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, one-legged chaturanga. Yeah. Inhale, upward facing doggy. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg, left leg up to the sky. And then with your exhale, see how close to your left shoulder you can tap with your knee. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. With your exhale, tap your right elbow with your knee. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Feel that you're carrying your foot with your abdominals. Step forward, rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, launch forward into airplane. Did I miss a beat there? No. And then you rewind. Find with your next inhale, crescent lunge, right where we came from. And that's where, with your exhale, open arm twist to your left. Sorry, my bad. Inhale here, and then open up, warrior two, facing the opposite direction. Inhale, reverse your triangle pose. And with your exhale, move into Trikonasana. Very nice. Now feel that you're reaching your left buttocks towards your right heel. So what this does is it tucks your left buttocks underneath you. And then you actually have more possibility of kind of leaning back towards your shoulders. Reaching through your top arm so it's right above your bottom arm instead of behind it. Yes, nice. And then you're going to invite a small bend into your left knee, and you can shift into half moon. Reach through your fingertips, feel your chest expand. And then notice, can you bend your left knee and grab onto, sorry, that's your right knee and grab onto your foot. Feel your hips moving forward. We did this when we were a little closer to the ground. Beginning of class. Gorgeous. Release your foot. Now bring your right hand down. Keep your right leg lifted, but square your right hip. So your right hip's facing the ground. Inhale, drag your chest forward. So you're lengthening your spine. And then with your exhale, wave your left arm up. Beautiful. So your right leg's still lifted. Yeah. Now see if you can bend your right knee and grab onto your foot. Yeah, yeah. And then if you feel like it, stand up, my love. Yeah. Adding some weird dance moves to help with your balance, always an option. Let your heart lift. Feel the radiance in your chest. This is called crossbow. Not like you're angry, but going across. And then rewind it. See if you can come down, place your right hand down, stretch your right leg long. And then with your hips squared, inhale, halfway lift, both hands on the ground. Exhale, one-legged chaturanga. Ooh, yeah. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then inhale, move forward into plank. And bring your feet together this time and roll to your left. And come into your expression of plank. So maybe your top foot is still slightly in front to help with your balance. Maybe your feet are stacked on one another, or maybe you're starting to lift your top leg. If you're starting to lift your top leg, think about rolling the bottom of your right foot down to the ground. You actually are stepping on your whole foot in Vasisthasana. Vasisthasana? Okay, sorry, can't stop. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, plank. You got this. Yeah. Okay. And then other side. So you want to breathe into your challenge, breathe into the movement. So wherever your edge is, make friends with it. Notice you're becoming, maybe lift your top leg. If so, try to really roll the whole bottom of your left foot to the ground. Maybe you're hooking onto your toes. And then exhale. I love chaturanga. Inhale. I don't love plank, but I'm going to go there. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take another full breath. And after your next exhale or with your exhale, jump your feet through your hands and come onto your butt. Yeah. And then maybe do swing sassy and lie down. And slide your heels close to your buttocks. Let your heels come out a little wider than your toes. And let's do the first variation with robot arms to remind us how our shoulders and our upper body helps us here. So yeah, like you pretend you're a robot. Yeah, perfect. And then squeeze your elbows in. And push your elbows and your shoulder blades down to the ground and feel how it like puffs up your chest. And then tuck your tail, push down with your feet and start to lift your hips up, continuing to push the backs of your upper arms and your elbows down. Feel your chest expand towards your face. And now if you'd like, feel free to hold hands below your hips. Or if you're already feeling warm and excited, you're welcome to bring your hands next to your ears and press right up into full wheel. Take another full inhale, lift up a little higher. And then exhale, roll down. This is not what you're expecting. Hug your knees to your chest. Roll forward, jump back, chaturanga. Come to plank. And we're going to go into mountain climbers. Yay. So you're going to bring your right knee to your right elbow. Put it back. Left knee, left elbow. And now we're going to actually run up the mountain. Yep. Allow yourself to get sweaty, to get breathless, to get challenged. Like I'm not doing it because I can't talk while I do it. This is what we're going for. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Inhale, exhale, shoot your legs through your hands, or just think about it and get there somehow onto your butt. Bridge or wheel. And I know you're out of breath and I know you're a little sweaty. So just lift up. Don't overthink it. We're going for this moment. We want to be experiencing our own edge because that's where we're becoming. Now, if you've lifted up into full wheel, fantastic. Everybody step your feet closer together and stretch your right leg straight up to the sky. This is like the final go. And then return your leg down and lift your other leg up to the sky, maybe. Be brave, breathe into it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. And this time, just let your knees drop together. Hopefully you got a little bit of a glow. Just a moment. If not, you're welcome to throw in another like heart racing mini kind of workout in there before your last and final bridge or wheel. Okay, bridge or wheel, do it now. So if you've gone into, I didn't give you very much time, Sabine, you're right. If you've gone into bridge once, you can go into it again. You've got this, you're so amazing. Feel the power of your own body, feel your feet pushing down, feel your elbows squeezing together, and really advanced. See if you can relax your forehead. Come to your edge, make friends with your edge for 5, 4, 3, 2, none. And then roll down, slide your feet out wide as your yoga mat. Let your knees drop back together. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. If your heart's racing and your breath is short, just take a couple moments and remind yourself this is what you're practicing for, to stay present in these moments where we're challenged. Because we're in the right time with the right people in the right place. And then you're going to bring your feet in hip distance apart and braid your right knee over your left knee. We're not doing the full twisted route, just the one twist. And then bring your knees as close to your chest as you can and let your knees slowly drop to your left. Take a full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh out. You notice that the timing with your breath changes and it affects your heart. Naturally, your breath is starting to slow down again. And it'll take a couple moments for your heart to respond. And then hug your knees back to center, unwind your legs. Bring your left knee over your right knee. Pull your knees to your chest, engaging even your abdominals, and then slowly drop your knees to the right, your gaze going up to the ceiling or to your left. Take a full breath in, and with your exhale, just sigh it out. And then bring your knees back to center and stretch your gorgeousness all over the yoga mat coming into Shavasana. Do both of you want blankets? So find your body relaxing towards the floor. You're welcome to have a moment and give yourself some love for being here in our practice together this morning. With your next inhale, start to invite your breath to the edges of your body. Allow maybe some movement to come into your fingers and your toes, moving your face, wiggling your nose and smiling. And then stretch your arms over your head with your inhale, reach your whole body long. And with your exhale, roll into a little ball and then roll to one side, hugging your knees to your chest. Feel the vibrancy and then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to meet at heart center. And with your eyes closed, lift up an image of the person you dedicated your class to, or just remember what you dedicated your class to. Think of who we've been together with here in this moment. And let's close with one Om. Empty your breath first. Let's take a big inhale all together. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And so much love. Make some noise. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. What a treat. I hope it feels good. And you know the deal. If you're sore, come do it again.